Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Let me ask you something that might sting a little. Have you ever walked into a room and felt invisible, like the women around you didn't even register your presence? Now pause, because here's the twist. That same room, that same group of women, can instantly turn their eyes to a man who might be older, even with a little grey at his temples, and they notice him first. Why does that happen? Why does age, instead of pushing men into the background, suddenly make them more magnetic in the eyes of younger women? Most men never get the real answer, but tonight, I'll strip away the lies and give you the truth that women rarely admit out loud. You see, attraction isn't about being the loudest in the room or the youngest guy with the flashiest smile. Women, especially younger women, are scanning constantly for one thing that most men don't even realize they're giving off, or failing to give off: presence. And presence is something younger men often fake, but older men naturally embody. When a younger woman notices an older man first, it's because her subconscious reads signals of calm, steadiness, and authority before her eyes even settle on the details of his face. It's primal, and it's deep. Think about this. Insecurity screams the loudest, and younger guys often radiate it without meaning to. Nervous energy, constant need for approval, chasing laughs or validation. But an older man doesn't need to prove himself in every interaction. His silence carries more weight than another man's loudest words. That's what women notice, the weight of a man's being. It's like his energy says, "I don't need to compete, I am." And that quiet power cuts through noise like a blade. Most men spend years chasing gimmicks, tricks, and lines, not realizing that younger women aren't looking for fireworks. They're scanning for safety, strength, and groundedness. It's not about wrinkles or perfect hair. It's about an energy that says, "I've lived, I've learned, and I'm not here to beg for approval." That is why, without effort, an older man's presence often registers before a younger man even has a chance to be seen. So let me ask you, when you walk into a room, are you the man women feel before they even see you, or the man who blends into the noise? Most men think attraction is something you can manipulate with the right words, the perfect body, or a flashy car. But here's the brutal truth. Younger women notice older men first because they feel something that words or appearances can't fake. It's confidence built from experience, not bravado. It's a presence that says, without a single syllable, "I know who I am, and I don't need your approval to exist." That energy resonates on a level younger men simply haven't developed yet. Imagine two men in a room, one in his early 20s, constantly fidgeting, checking his phone, trying to impress. The other, older, calm, eyes steady, movements deliberate. Who catches attention first? It's not the flashy gestures or loud jokes. It's the older man, because he embodies something rarer than youth itself: emotional gravity. Women are wired to notice it instantly, whether they consciously understand it or not. That gravity pulls them in, even before they can articulate why. Here's where most men get it wrong. They think women are noticing because of looks alone. But psychology proves it's never just appearance. It's the subtle cues of life experience. How a man carries himself, the way he listens without rushing, the quiet assurance in his posture. These are things that younger women subconsciously scan for, even in casual social settings. And the older man has mastered this without even thinking about it. It's effortless, while younger men are often desperate, forcing attention rather than naturally commanding it. Another key factor? Emotional intelligence. Older men have learned to navigate tension, conflict, and the unpredictability of life. That calm mastery in the face of chaos signals reliability, something younger women, even without realizing it, crave in a partner. That signal is louder than any outfit, any haircut, any line you might try to memorize. You don't have to say a word. Your presence says it all. But here's the secret most men don't know. This isn't about being better than younger men. It's about being different. It's the contrast that makes the older man noticeable. He's the anomaly, the exception in a sea of uncertainty, and that difference triggers attention before anything else. Younger women's minds register it instantly because evolution has trained them to notice stability, maturity, and reliability above the superficial. So ask yourself, do you carry that weight, that calm energy that makes people instinctively notice you? Or are you just trying to be seen like everyone else? Now, let's get even deeper, because noticing an older man isn't just about presence or confidence. It's about perceived value, something that younger women are subconsciously scanning for the moment they meet you. Value isn't about money, cars, or social status. It's about life mastery. It's the subtle signals that say, this man has navigated challenges, overcome failures, and emerged stronger on the other side. Younger women sense that instantly, even before a word is spoken. Think about it. Youth is full of promise, but promise is invisible. Experience, on the other hand, radiates. Every scar, every story, every quiet decision a man has made adds to an aura that women can't ignore. That aura makes the older man noticeable first, while younger men, full of untested potential, are still background noise. Women feel that unshakable energy, like gravity pulling them in, and they instinctively respect it. Respect turns into attention, and attention turns into curiosity. But here's a truth that cuts deeper than most men realize. The attraction isn't about chasing women, it's about being magnetic without trying. Younger women aren't consciously analyzing your career or wealth. They're subconsciously reading the way your life experience has shaped you. The calm in your voice, the patience in your gestures, the subtle way you handle interruptions. They all scream reliability, competence, and self-possession. These are qualities younger men rarely project because they haven't lived enough life to cultivate them. Another reason younger women notice older men first is emotional safety. In a world full of uncertainty, risk, and shallow connections, the older man signals stability. She doesn't have to guess what he means or where he stands. His energy communicates it instantly. And here's the kicker. Women don't just notice this, they remember it. That first impression lingers far longer than any line, outfit, or temporary charm a younger man can flash. But notice this. This doesn't mean you get attention automatically just because you're older. Presence must be intentional. Posture, tone, calmness under pressure. They are subtle tools that amplify the natural magnetism of experience. The older man's edge comes not from arrogance, but from control of self. That control creates desire, intrigue, and curiosity before a single word is exchanged. So, let me ask you, are you radiating the kind of life mastery that commands attention, or are you still blending into the chaos like everyone else? Here's something most men will never admit to themselves. Younger women notice older men first because they're subconsciously evaluating who can protect their future, not just their present. It's not about violence or dominance, it's about stability, wisdom, and the quiet assurance that comes from having faced life's storms and survived. That energy registers instantly. Younger men? They often radiate uncertainty, neediness, or impatience, and women pick up on it without even thinking. Think about the last time you noticed someone in a crowded room. Chances are, it wasn't just their smile or their clothes. It was the way they carried themselves, the calm in their step, the confidence in their glance. Women notice those who have cultivated self-control and composure because it signals that they've handled life's unpredictable twists, and they're still standing. That kind of resilience is magnetic because it tells a story of competence without a single word being spoken. Here's the hard truth. Younger men can't fake this. They may have money, style, or charisma, but without life-tested experience, their energy often comes off as hollow or forced. Women sense that immediately. It's primal, almost instinctual. Their subconscious is scanning for who can bring long-term security and reliability, and older men naturally fit that profile. That's why even in casual social settings, the older man draws the eye first because he represents something rarer than youth, a sense of certainty in an uncertain world. Another critical factor is patience. Older men don't need instant gratification. They've learned the power of timing, observation, and strategic action. That patience isn't boring, it's intoxicating. It communicates that he's in control, that he's thoughtful, that he's capable of depth and long-term thinking. Women feel that magnetism before they even consciously recognize it. That's why the first glance often lands on the older man. He's a signal of wisdom and measured action, while the younger men are still impulsive, reactive, and noisy. And here's a truth most men never acknowledge. It's not manipulation or tactics that draw attention. It's authentic self-mastery. The older man has been forged by life, refined by experience, and tempered by lessons most younger men haven't yet encountered. That makes him immediately noticeable, inherently magnetic, and profoundly intriguing. So ask yourself this: when you enter a room, are you projecting calm, mastery, and reliability? Or are you giving off the energy of uncertainty that drives women's attention elsewhere? Let's talk about a hidden factor that most men never understand: the power of unspoken authority. Younger women notice older men first because they instinctively sense a man who doesn't need to demand respect. He naturally commands it. This isn't about being loud, flashy, or controlling. It's subtle. It's the way he listens more than he talks, the way he carries himself without needing validation, the way his presence alone shifts the energy in a room. That quiet authority triggers curiosity, intrigue, and yes, attraction. Think about it. Women are scanning constantly, even subconsciously. They notice tension, confidence, impatience, calmness, insecurity. And the older man? He radiates a rare combination. He's calm, yet decisive. He's strong, yet emotionally present. He's experienced, yet approachable. Younger men often try to fake these qualities, but they rarely succeed. Authenticity is felt, and women notice authenticity first because they are wired to do so. Another layer is the depth of conversation an older man can offer. Younger women might be drawn initially by energy or appearance, but they quickly register depth. They notice a man who can hold his ground in conversation, who challenges ideas without attacking, who listens without interrupting. That depth signals intelligence, self-assurance, and experience. Qualities younger men may lack simply because they haven't lived long enough to accumulate them. This is why the older man captures attention before his younger peers even have a chance to impress. Now, consider emotional stability. Most younger men are still navigating inner chaos, insecurities, social pressures, and the anxiety of proving themselves. Older men have often faced these challenges, overcome them, and emerged with composure. That stability acts like a magnet because women, especially younger women, are drawn to energy that feels safe, grounded, and reliable. It's an instinctual response, not a conscious decision. Finally, here's the truth most men never realize. The older man is noticed first because he embodies contrast. In a world where attention-seeking behavior dominates, someone who doesn't seek approval stands out instantly. Women register the difference subconsciously. That difference is irresistible because it signals mastery, strength, and freedom. So, I want you to reflect. Are you projecting unshakable authority through your presence, or are you still blending into the noise, competing for fleeting attention? Here's a truth most men overlook. Younger women notice older men first because they sense authenticity in action. It's not just the calm energy, the life experience, or the unspoken authority. It's how he navigates moments in real time. The older man doesn't overreact, doesn't need validation, doesn't chase attention. His responses are measured, deliberate, and confident. That kind of authenticity, when combined with subtle dominance in social energy, creates a gravitational pull younger men simply can't replicate. Think about it. In every interaction, women are scanning microsignals: tone of voice, eye contact, posture, gestures. They notice who is comfortable in their own skin and who is pretending. They notice who can handle tension without losing composure. They notice who speaks with purpose rather than for approval. That is why, in a room of younger men all trying to stand out, the older man becomes the focal point without even trying. It's instinctual. It's primal. Another element is experience paired with restraint. Older men have lived through mistakes, heartbreak, and social tests. They know when to act, when to speak, when to hold back. That restraint signals intelligence, self-control, and emotional depth. All qualities that subconsciously scream value to a younger woman. Younger men may have passion or energy, but without experience, it often comes off as impulsive, unpredictable, or chaotic. Women feel that difference immediately, often before they consciously register it. Then there's the subtle art of presence in conversation. Older men can listen deeply, ask meaningful questions, and create a sense of intimacy without trying to impress. Younger men often fill silence with words, trying to prove worth. But women respond more strongly to energy that feels substantial rather than performative. That's why older men get noticed first. They don't demand attention. They earn it naturally through the energy they project. Finally, understand this. Attraction isn't about showing off. It's about being inherently magnetic. The older man has learned that his presence, his confidence, his calm mastery of life, all of it, speaks louder than any action or word could. That is why younger women notice him first, and why that first impression lingers long after the interaction ends. So I want you to ask yourself, are you projecting authenticity and mastery? Or are you still trying to force attention like everyone else? Are you the man who naturally draws the eye, or just another face in the crowd? Now, here's the final truth most men will never hear, and it's the one that separates the men women notice from the men they ignore. Younger women notice older men first because they sense mastery over life itself. It's the combination of experience, calm confidence, emotional stability, and subtle authority that signals, without words, this man is capable, grounded, and in control. That magnetism doesn't need decoration, flashy clothes, or clever lines. It's energy, pure, undeniable, magnetic energy. Let me break it down. Most men spend years trying to be noticed by mimicking confidence, buying status symbols, or practicing pickup lines. But attention earned through imitation is fleeting. It fades the moment the mask slips. The older man? He doesn't need a mask. His energy is built from surviving challenges, learning from mistakes, and mastering himself. Women subconsciously register this immediately. They notice him first because they feel the difference before their conscious mind can even analyze it. There's also a truth about timing. Younger men are still in the phase of chasing, performing, and seeking validation. Older men operate differently. They are selective, measured, and deliberate. That selectivity, combined with calm self-possession, creates a sense of scarcity and value that younger women intuitively recognize. The man who doesn't chase, who stands in his own power, naturally draws the eye first. It's not arrogance, it's magnetism, born of experience. But here's the kicker, most men never realize. Noticing isn't attraction yet. It's the first step in a process. The older man doesn't just get attention. He shapes the way women perceive him, how they feel in his presence, and the subconscious respect they carry forward. That's power. That's influence. That's why presence matters more than words, actions, or youth alone. So here's my challenge to you, an equation you need to solve in your mind and in your life: experience, plus emotional control, plus calm authority, presence. Ask yourself, are you actively cultivating each of these, or are you waiting for attention to fall into your lap? Write your answer in the comments below. If you found this truth eye-opening, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share it with a friend who needs to hear this. Remember, being noticed first isn't luck, it's mastery, and mastery can be built. The question is, are you ready to build it?